Yeah, so the boat can't. It's not gonna turn around. The only way you're gonna survive is if someone's right there next to you and they huck something overboard, and you're able.
There's no rescue.
There's a rescue boat, but it's gonna take forever to get that down. Nobody's standing at the rescue boat ready.
People are like, it's just gonna take forever to get the rescue boat down, man. I think
let's just leave it.
I think we're just gonna keep going, man. It's gonna take forever.
No, they would launch it if someone did.
Bye, Chip.
He's in Davy Jones' locker.
We'll see you in the other line.
Bye, Chip. Sorry, man. It's been way too long. Yeah. That's messed up.
Let's do it. We didn't feel Sammy in on that one.
We're doing it.
Shout out to 25 because we doing it. We gonna pull Yui's out here.
I love it. So, anyone want to re-intro Sammy real quick? Something simple.
How about Sammy introduces himself?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think we live in a world now where we don't have to speak for each other.
I agree. Well, I just graduated college in May.
Let's
Last
go.
time I was on here.
Oh
I
yeah.
hadn't shipped out yet.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
that's
what we
actually
talked
perfect
about,
timing because we were talking about when you were leaving last time you were on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
23 years old. Just came back from my first job 3 months ago, and I'm about to leave in a couple days for the next one. So.
Oh boy.
That's so crazy.
Oh boy.
That's so
What do
crazy.
you do?
I work on boats.
Yeah.
Big boats.
Yeah. Big boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big boat guy.
You're a wiper, right?
No.
Before you just
Honestly, I'm
leave.
not. That would not be.
Yeah.
I'm honestly pumped because, dude, just even getting to know you over these last. I know you guys have all been boys since you guys were like kids. You guys got pictures, like sharing each other's, mom's breast milk or crying out.
Come on. Relax with the story.
Yeah. But dude, just even like living with you, I'm like, I don't want you to go. I'm like, stay here.
I know.
I was saying the same thing this morning. It's like, shit, I gotta leave in 2 days.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck.
Well, even
Let's get to it.
I was in the car we were talking, me and Sam, and I was like, Sammy is like the easiest guest for a household ever. Like he stays busy, he just goes and does whatever he wants to do all day, he cleans up, and he's like, I get up in the morning, he's fucking gone on a walk. I'm like, it's 8 o'clock, like, what is this guy doing? He's on vacation. He's out of here.
It's funny.
He's my mini alarm clock.
Yeah.
He comes in the bathroom right when I'm sleeping. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get up because I gotta compete with this boy. He'll leave when he leaves, I finally get out of bed. Fuck, he beat me today.
Yeah. Alex's gonna be sleeping till noon when you're gone.
Maybe.
Yeah, I always walk in and you're like, look over. Oh shit.
Sammy's already up? What? It's so early, Sammy.
Alex, it's funny you say that because when I was in LA with my cousins, they said the same thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of do my own thing. I mean, they were busy with work too, so.
Yeah. But that's the best thing. You don't want to take somebody's time and then you go in there and then you're like, they feel like they have to entertain you the whole time, Like you stay busy, you do what you want to do. You stay productive, go to the gym more than us. Like,
Have you always been like that, like your whole life, or really?
It wasn't until college. It started
Why?
in college.
Why?
I started falling into bad habits. Too much.
Ripping heroin.
But and then I picked up the gym because I stopped playing sports, so I wasn't doing any physical activity. And the gym really just led to one thing to the next, to the next. And
Is it like internal alarm clock thing though? Like now you like can't almost sleep past.
Kind of.
That's just you now.
Yes, but I'm kind of getting out of that.
What do you mean?
So like coming off the boat, like I was getting up no problem because I was sleeping. Like 8 o'clock was like sleeping in.
Ah, I see.
And now since I haven't been there,
It's
kind of going up. So like my alarm goes off now, and sometimes I'm like, I'll just silence it.
Is that common? Like a lot of people just like they go hard and then they come back and they're just low for just checking their bombs.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with not much of a life outside of shipping.
Yeah.
What happens a lot is they ship out, make the money, go home. Oh, I'm home on vacation, but they get bored in a month. and they ship right back out. And that's what they do.
Yeah. They end up just living out there.
But pretty much, yeah. And you can see it on there.
Is there a limit as far as like how long someone can be out at sea?
Not officially. Like, I mean, if you want to work for someone, they're gonna keep you around.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone could be gone for years.
For years. Yeah.
So you're saying you could just
That's
straight up
nuts.
work on a ship for the next 6 years and then retire? You could.
Kind of.
Why don't
You
more people
literally
do that?
could.
Actually, dead serious. Why don't more people do that?
Because you're wasting
You're
your
punting
20s.
away your 20.
Yeah.
I get it, but so many people are
30.
punting away anyways. They're like, in the ghetto, or like not doing anything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like someone grows up downtown Detroit, like, you know, a ton of crime. It's like, just go on a ship for 2 years straight.
I would be interested to see how they would come back to reality or like back to shore.
Yeah.
Like, you're secluded out there. Are you kidding me? You're going crazy. We gotta ask you a bunch of
It
questions.
just talks like Black Sabbath.
Yeah, exactly. Because you've been on it for
Jack
what? Was
Sparrow.
it 60 days you were on it?
Yeah, my longest is 75. The
75.
next one's 90.
Alright,
Which
so
is usually the norm.
okay, 75 days. Is there ever a point where you're like, this is too much. I gotta get off this ship?
It doesn't hit you till the last week.
Yeah.
Because you know it's the last week.
Even if it's like 30 days, the last week, you're like, it flies by till that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're kind of like
Very
in a
routine.
trance almost. It's
Yeah.
like the same thing every day,
Yeah.
same people, like
That's
same
crazy.
food, same routine, 7 days a week. And then all of a sudden you hear you're getting off a boat. My last week, I was like, okay, when are my flights coming? Like, when am I gonna get my flight information?
Yeah.
Like ready to go.
The time span that you leave, I feel like, is better. Like, if you left for a long time, you come back, and all of a sudden your wife's with just another man or something, you've got a whole new family. It's like, what changed? Yeah. I feel like for you, like, it's not long enough where anything changes.
Yeah.
Like, my facial hair barely probably changed by the time you're back, you know?
Back to the, what was it? Staying out at sea for like years. MSC is called Military Sea Lift Command. That's a big thing people go out of from school. You're working, you're not in the military, but you're resupplying their boats. But nobody wants to work with them because they get stuck out at sea for, they tell you 6 months contract. It ends up being like 10, 12 months. They don't get a relief. And I've talked to a few people
That
that
would be
have done
whack.
that, and they go, yeah, you make really good money, you make a ton of money, but you're on the boat for 10 months.
How much money?
The second mate on my boat said it was around 200.
What's the second? What does that mean?
He works on the deck side.
Walk us
Walk
through,
yeah,
walk us
yeah.
through all
Yeah, a
the
little more
positions.
of that.
Walk us
Yeah,
through the
yeah.
tiers.
So I'm in the engine room.
Okay.
There's the officer route and the non-officer route. So the officer route is what you go to school for. It starts at third engineer, which is what I'm at. Second engineer, first engineer, chief engineer.
Chief engineer's highest.
Yes, he's in charge.
Head honcho. Gets paid the most on the boat.
And then it goes deck side, which is kind of above deck. So they're the ones plotting the charts, making sure the boat is going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's third mate, second mate, chief mate, captain. And then under that,
Captain
is-
makes the most of anyone on the boat.
Yeah. Captain
Yeah.
makes the most. Under that is the unlicensed, which in the engine room we call them. There's a lot of different names. So there's a wiper, which we
Call me.
You call them wipers.
That's one of them. Or
Is that the actual name, or you guys just call them wipers?
that's
No. That was his job title.
Yeah.
He was a
Um,
wiper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a wiper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the butt wipers is tough. That's a tough name. You don't want that.
We're not talking dude wipes.
Yeah.
This video is brought to you by dude wipes.
That's her first one.
It should be. With all the protein we're eating recently, god damn.
We don't need to get too many details.
You guys are terrible.
So the wiper, they're like a janitor kind of. in the engine room.
You're making this sound way worse as you
Well,
keep. That's really what told me.
like the janitor.
Yeah, I had one on my cadet shipping boat. This boat, I didn't have one.
No wonder Colby didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
No wonder.
You can't blame him.
No.
Well,
For those working men, dude, it's
Yeah.
probably clogged hourly, I would assume. Like, dude, like, I can only imagine the type of guys in the boat, like, you know, just dropping nukes. Like, who wants to do
No,
that?
so all they do is like mop and like paint usually. That's their biggest thing that I've noticed. After wiper, it goes. They depends on the company. Some call them Q-meds or oilers.
That would be better.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. A lot more hands-on. Depending on the oiler or Q-med, technically they don't have the responsibility to touch things because
They just look at it.
yeah,
It's like a museum.
unless they're told to, so like they can't turn stuff on and off.
They have no authority at all.
Yeah, because they just don't want people touching certain things. But a lot of times they do a lot of hands-on stuff with like repairing valves, helping the engineers. Some of the oilers, like the one I had on my last boat, who was I want to say like 28, a lot more experience. The chief, since he knew him, knew he was a good worker, would let him kind of do what he needed to do.
Yeah.
So it depends on who it is and their experience level. Like for me, since it was my first job, the chief was really good on my boat at knowing it was my first job, that I get these responsibilities, that he made sure I knew what I was doing. And he would, even if I said I knew what I was doing, he would kind of follow me. Sometimes and show me anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, he's the one that's...
It's on his back.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you said that someone in your position will make about $200,000 a year?
That's if you go MSC ship out for 10 months, which I wouldn't do right now. It depends on the so all the jobs are through contracts.
Yep. Like a
If
3-month
you-
contract. Like, what is it? 3
Yeah,
month
so if
contract?
you ship out 3 months, 3 months off, 3 months ship out, 3 months off,
Mhm.
you're looking anywhere from 110 to 130.
110 to 130. Wow. So you're talking about every single time you go out, you're making whatever for $30,000.
Yes, it's broken up because there's vacation pay. So when I'm out there, there's a day rate, there's an overtime hourly rate, and then you work up so many vacation days while you're there. So for example, I was getting 20 for 30, which means...
Wait, hold on. If you go 3 months on, 3 months off, that's only 6 months on. Each time you go out, you're making $60-something thousand. You come back.
Roughly, if you include
Whoa.
vacation pay, and it depends on ship to ship, what the contract and how each company is paying.
Wow.
But there's vacation pay, so you don't get it all when you're out there. You get vacation days when you get home. So I was doing, mine was 20 for 30, meaning I'd work 30 days and get 20 days of paid vacation.
I see.
And then you get paid while you're at home.
That's kind of sick.
They pay you over the course. It's not like you get off the boat and they're like, here you go, here's a $70,000 check.
This company was a little different. I got a lump sum.
Yeah, he got a lump sum. Yeah.
You get a lump sum?
Yeah.
What was it like
That's
when you just
fucking
looked in your bank account and just saw that money
I
sitting
think it was
there?
like 2 weeks after. I was like, wow.
I shit you not. I saw Sammy a week after he got home and he's like, yeah, I just bought PS5. He had a gold bracelet on. Like literally out of nowhere. Like,
He has
like,
grills.
like
It's like,
Sammy was so
sorry.
frugal for like in college and everything, and then he just. I loved it though. I love watching him spend money. He earns it.
Yeah.
Yeah, going off of that, walk us through like the sacrifices that you made. Obviously, 4 years at Maine Maritime Academy. That ain't ideal for most people.
Yeah.
But
No,
there's also
definitely-
sacrifices in the job as well.
Yeah, it definitely isn't ideal. Most people don't choose to go there because you see you're gonna be gone for 3 months at a time, which is understandable
Right.
You understand.
Is it the money?
Most people go there for the money.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know about it. Like my dad was telling me, he wanted me to go there, but he didn't know about it when he was my age.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, if I was your age, I would have went there if I knew about it. And most people go there 2 reasons: the money, and it's a job where you're not in an office. Is
Right.
kind of how people describe it to me.
Yep.
Was your dad in your ear from like a young age about it, or?
No, not at all. He just recommended I go there. I wanted to go there to join the Navy. That's what my initial plan was.
So you presented it to him.
Yes, but I didn't want to do the working on commercial boats part. I wanted to go there, join the Navy, and fly for the Navy. That was my initial plan the first year. But at the same time, I was doing the major that would allow me to do the commercial boats.
Mm.
It wasn't until after a year I was like, I don't want to do the Navy stuff. I like the shipping out stuff. Like, I'm liking what I'm learning in school. Why don't I just do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And each year went by, and I was like, wow, that was a really good decision I made.
Why? Just the Navy thing just blows.
Yeah, it's one, you don't really, it's hard to get what you want with joining the Navy, especially with me. I didn't have the greatest grades my first year and a half there. On top of that, they see a piece of paper with my name on it saying I went to a boat school. Why would they send me to flight school? They send me on a boat. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
then,
So you weren't even like set up to do that even originally, almost.
yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. And then a couple of years went by, and I was kind of learning more about the industry. I was like, wow, this is actually kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I enjoyed my cadet shipping, the cruises. First job was great. And loved it ever since.
What's the dropout rate? Sorry, I feel like I'm fucking just asking all the questions. Like,
We love it. We love it.
I'm like, how many people like drop out? Like,
So it's probably, it depends what you include. So it's probably really high if you include day one to when you show up to graduation.
did you guys ever visit?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
visited.
we did.
We have to share that story.
I can hear this.
We get there.
Well, first of all, we went to go see CDOT. Shout out CDOT.
Shout out.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Yes.
But we get to Maine Maritime. It's probably like what, 11 o'clock at night. We show
Of
up.
course,
Like a
because
Saturday.
what friends would show up any earlier?
Well, we went to a concert before in
Just say
Bangor.
anyone that visited me at college showed up at 11 or later.
Whatever.
It's terrible.
We pull up and it's literally Sammy's house. It's like in the fucking middle of nowhere.
It's
Like
a
it's like in the middle of nowhere.
It's like,
And Sammy's
Are we
like
sure we're here?
on the phone. Or were we walking with you? No, you were on the phone.
I was, so at the house was a dump.
Yeah.
It was a longer driveway, dirt driveway. You guys drove in. At the time that night was homecoming weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
So I met you guys later.
and you
for the
brought these
concert.
guys?
I left with my
People got
buddy.
hot dates flying in.
No, he left ahead
You're
of
showing up,
us.
dude.
He left ahead of us.
Yeah. So I go back to my house. We did a fire, and we have like a long trail that goes down to the water.
Like a
We always
mile.
did fires down there. We had a bunch of people over.
In Maine? Like, what time of year? Homecoming? I guess
This was
October.
end of September,
Yeah.
beginning of October.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
And I'm like, they finally show up. They showed up late because of the concert, and when they showed up,
It was like 11 o'clock, like, and everyone's going home.
And we're like, yeah,
Like-
that's just not an
We're like,
experience.
what?
well,
Well, they were also probably drinking the
yeah, it
entire
started
day.
at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he showed up to the concert and he was hammered.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Like-
then,
Yeah.
yeah,
Lot of
so
dudes.
everyone's leaving. Now you continue when you pull in.
Well, we're just like walking down the trail, deep to D. We're like, oh, we're here, right? These guys come down. They're in a pickup truck, like 15 people in the bed of it, like all sitting around. Like this truck is stacked, and like they're just yelling and hollering. They drive by us, and these other guys walk by. They call us pussies. Like random interaction. Yeah. We're like, all right. We get down to the fire, and it's literally like 8 people. And we're like, Oh!
Yeah, it was really just our roommates. Yeah.
No, but it was fun. I actually liked
No, it was a good night. It was a
Yeah.
good night.
I was
Shout out
pissed.
to
It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
everyone.
It was hilarious though.
That's.
And then we froze all night because his house is like -7 degrees, no insulation.
And they had a dog there. They did have a dog there. That was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a dog saved.
Dog was cute.
Was the dog a female at least? Sounds like he wasn't any.
I don't know.
Definitely did.
Sammy's like, fuck, you guys just missed the one girl here. You guys had the worst time.
Literally.
Yes.
No, you were talking to a girl that night and she left and you were like, shit.
It was a good thing she left.
Can we break this?
You lower your standards at Maine Maritime for those few years.
Sammy?
Luckily I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
Sammy's a little hidden gem.
You're a
dude.
stud, yeah, that's
Hidden
why it's
gem.
different.
He's a virgin, ladies.
I
Just
knew
waiting for
how it was.
He's
though.
never been touched.
I was like, I'm
prepared.
staying away.
Mm.
Yeah, I would have been with 4 bills plus. It would have been awful. Yeah.
They just get ran through.
That is crazy. Did you have a lot of friends like that ended up dropping out?
Not really. Most of my friends finished.
I think you
There
talked
was-
about some people getting
There's
kicked out.
one kid that I was friends with freshman year that dropped out. That made really good sense though.
Mm.
He's from Scotland, and
Scotland.
he's
He's like, what am I doing here?
super wealthy.
Oh,
So
There's no point in him being there.
it was a discipline thing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone I was friends with finished.
Wow.
Or finishing.
Let's go.
So.
That's crazy.
But the dropout rate, because day one is if you join the regiment, the RPT stuff, which is their mini boot camp, people drop out of that.
Oh.
And then you'd go through mug month, which is you're just kind of getting hazed.
Mugged.
Yeah.
You get mugged.
So a lot of kids drop out there, and then even like a year into it, or 2 years into it, they're like, oh, I don't want to do this.
But if you make it through those first 2 tests, the boot camp and mug month,
Most people.
Most people stay. Dang. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
So it's definitely the job that you're in. It's definitely not for everyone.
Nope.
But like, what are like, what's the upside to it? I know that you've been traveling a shit ton as of recently. So like, what are the benefits in the job that you're in?
Biggest thing for me, so everyone talked about why they stayed was because of pay. Pay's great, but a lot of people don't realize that you get location freedom. To me, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You can live pretty much anywhere you want. And they fly you to the boat, whatever boat you're getting on. They fly you to it, you get on, they fly you home. So to me, location freedom is the biggest thing. The other thing is time off. Yes, you're gone 3 months out of the year. You're also at home 3 months out of the year. So those two are the most valuable, easily the most
Yeah.
valuable.
Yours only turn that thing off.
I don't think it'll pick it up.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Should be fine.
So your first ship, you went to Saipan.
Yeah, cadet shipping.
That was cadet shipping. You were in school during that. And then your first job was to head to Iceland.
Yep.
Okay, you go to Iceland. Where were other stops that you went? Because you
So-
were in Europe, so.
Cadet shipping, my co-op is basically what it is. I was in Saipan, which is near Guam.
Yep.
We were at anchor for 60 days, which was a blast.
Yeah.
So I just do day work. And since I'm a cadet, I'm getting paid nothing, pretty much. It was like,
This was
$4 an hour. It was
Yeah.
like $4.
No, that's not even possible.
No,
Yeah,
this was on our last pod. We like added it up.
No way.
It was like, Sammy, you made $1,100 in 3 months.
Yeah, which is crazy. They can do that.
Yeah.
That is not legal. There's
I don't know how it is. Yeah.
International waters, there's no laws.
None. It's a free for all out there.
Yeah.
You were a sweatshop boy for a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got to like go on land.
Yeah, so since we were at anchor, we were about a mile offshore, and a bunch of boats kind of just sit there at anchor, so they had a launch that would come out, stop at each boat, pick us up, bring us to shore. So each day I'd work 8 to 4:30, and then
Just rip land.
you go to the land, go get food, go out. As long as you're back on the boat for the next work.
Oh no.
Dude.
How many people just were rolling in at 7:30?
There was swimming out in the boat. There was a few people that would they'd show up because the next morning the launch would come at like 7:30 purposefully. So if anyone was stuck overnight, they'd get there in time.
They would?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you have any? Who was your buddies that just always 7:30 without a doubt?
There's one guy on my, but I didn't work with him much, but he's a chief mate. He's on the deck side. There's time, at least in the day, a lot of times he'd just leave at like noon.
Ron. What was his name?
I don't even remember.
Call him
I
out.
don't remember. Yeah. But he'd leave at noon, gone the entire day. And sometimes he would come at like 7:30. Yeah, that was the cadet shipping one. And then junior year was my junior cruise. So that was the cruise with the school. So I knew everyone on the boat. Had like 200 something people on it, my classmates. That was, the work you do is kind of like lame. There's so many people on the boat that there's not much for everyone to do. So you're working, but you're kind of just doing bullshit.
Yeah.
Mm.
The ports we stopped at were the Azores, which is really cool.
I don't even know where that is.
It's like the islands off of Portugal.
Whoa, you were that far.
Yeah. And then we went to Spain, went to Germany, and Ireland.
Yeah, that's so you got to basically travel the world and get paid for it.
That one I didn't get paid.
Sweatshop wings. Well, you can get
No,
paid
that
even.
one I
Dude,
paid
he's
to go
getting
on
murdered.
That one I paid to go on.
That's hilarious.
Were you able to get off her?
Yeah, so
You were able to get off though, right?
yeah, you're able to get off. They usually let you off since it's a school and it's the regiment stuff. It's a lot more like controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they let you off at 10, 11ish, and then you have to be back no later than midnight. Yeah, it's kind of
Like 2 hours?
You gotta jump some. Serious
How many drinks can you
10,
drink?
11 a.m.
Oh, okay, I was gonna
So
say.
you have the day.
How many beers can you put down in 2 hours?
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that because they follow the legal limit on the boat.
for like driving?
Yeah.
Even if you're not working though. If you're not
So
on shift.
the
Like if you get back in, like let's just say your shift is 8 to 4. You get back 11 p.m. and you're smashed. Are you?
if they breathalyze you, yeah, you're gone. They make you.
For your job too?
How?
Or
No,
just
no,
for school?
not
This
for-
was for
this is
school.
school, man.
Oh, for
this
school,
is for
okay.
school.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're over 0.08, they say see you later.
See
you
you
have
later.
to buy your own flight home. Yeah.
They
Even
have
if
to
you're
dip it.
21,
Even if you're 20.
you're 21. You blow .09,
People,
and you're not working.
Yep.
What?
It's yeah.
It's insane.
So that was with the school boat. Then I go to Iceland, went in August. Flew into Iceland, and then I got on the boat a day after. It was kind of weird getting on the boat because I never seen it, don't know where I'm at.
You're
Someone's
expecting
like
Carnival
driving.
Cruise. Like,
Yeah. I walk on, so since the whole crew was kind of changing out, I didn't know who was who. And someone would be like, oh, he's the chief engineer. Oh, he's also the chief engineer. So it's like,
Watch out for patchy bites. I did want to ask you like what like kind of nicknames are on the boat. Like who's the biggest characters on the boat? Like
we had a really good character on this last boat. His name was Joe.
Joe.
Friggin'
It's
Joe.
gotta be
He's
Joe.
just,
It's always 3 letters.
Just one of those, he's an older guy that just would say anything on his mind. Like,
Pistol!
Sounds like
Pistol Pete! Pistol Pete!
Was he like perverted?
No. He was like fun to
picture-
have around.
Picture these boat guys just so perverted. I don't know.
There are people I've heard of.
I've heard of.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Video footage of Sammy. He's like,
Stop it.
But yeah, this guy Joey was great to have around. He worked great, but he also was funny because he'd just say like the most random stuff.
Yeah.
And he'd just talk to himself too. So I'd be in the control room. He'd just be yapping along, and I'm like, I'd say something. He goes like, "Oh, I'm just talking to myself, saying the most like random stuff." But he was fun to have around. He was good.
Proof that you go crazy at sea.
Yeah.
He's just going crazy. He's going crazy.
Is there any people that you met that you're like, I wish this guy was on every time I shipped out? And could you do that? Could you be like, yo, you trying to go for this boat? Let's try to get on the same one. Like, could you like be like, boys, we both get on the same one?
That's a good question.
Kind of. Not really. It's hard to do that because, like for example, my friends at school, they're all like third engineers. Meaning they're the same job as me.
You're all competing for the same
Yeah.
thing.
Some boats have multiple third engineers,
Mhm.
so you could get on the same one.
Mm.
It would just have to be timed right for when you get the job.
You're not hitting up Big Joe being like, yo, what you
Joe, let's go together next time.
Joe, let's get on the same shit.
Well, it's kind of crazy, like just the idea that you could live on a ship with someone and see them every day for 3 months, and then never see them ever.
Sayonara.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could never be back on that same the same ship or the same pattern. You could be on the same ship, just different times too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So a lot of times, like for people like if my buddy's at a company as a third engineer, I could be his relief. So his 60 days or 90 days he's on, when he's done, I would relieve him.
Yeah, you
take
go.
over the next 90 and he'd come back.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. But at my position, there's usually not any permanence, meaning they don't keep you permanent at the same shipping company. So all the jobs are done through a union hall, at least when I'm in, and they call it as kind of like a contract, and it's done through.
Union Hall just sitting back, just making a check. Just be like, yeah, we'll send Sammy out there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all done through seniority, so I kind of have last pick right
Oh,
Crazy.
You're the wiper right now.
now. Yeah.
You're just wiping.
Get a degree. Get a degree. Yeah, you're the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You're the one.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Do
sound-
you? Go ahead.
That doesn't sound too bad. I mean, you're taking off in Savannah,
Yeah,
going down to
it's-
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You gotta be pumped for that.
Yeah.
You're excited to get
A
on?
couple days I'm flying to Savannah.
That's crazy.
Get on there, and then we're there for about a month, a little over a month, and then we're going to Costa Rica.
I like the way you say that.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
I know.
Costa Rica.
You're not coming back from Costa Rica. You're staying there.
No.
Well, we'll be there
gonna
for
get
like a
80,000.
couple days in port, and then we leave for another month, and then go back in for a couple days.
Is this one going to Iceland again?
Nope. Same boat,
Same boat.
but not
No.
on Iceland. It's a research
That'd be a
vessel, so
fun
they
trip.
go kind of everywhere.
Okay.
Are there any boats that go to Antarctica?
Good question.
I think there's a few.
I don't know.
Not.
What are you even going there for, though?
Yeah, there's really
there
not.
it is.
There's the penguin!
What do you go for?
Yeah, I don't think there's much.
Well, research.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
technically, yeah.
well,
Well,
like
I was
there's like a research.
basically in Antarctica. It was close enough. I was.
You were north.
Wait, you're
I
telling me this boat just goes
Yeah, he's
for
north of
research,
shit.
and you guys can't just fly there? You just.
Well,
Now you gotta ship
Well,
it.
it's a
You gotta
it's
ship it, you
a
gotta
it's
ship
a
it. What do you-
marine.
I get it, but it's like.
They're studying shit in the ocean.
yeah. So this boat was.
They're
We're
measuring the
studying,
salt density.
I know, what more is there? I thought we figured everything out by now. Sorry, guys.
So like, are there like, I don't want to say nerds, but obviously you got like the engineers, you got like the ship side, but on the research vessel, there's like actual people.
Yeah, there's
It's
like,
like
Nerds.
nerds.
Yeah,
Nerds out there, right?
Yes, confirmed.
There's a whole science crew with their own little area.
Remember a lab coach on the ship?
No.
I think
Imagine.
this is Dexter's laboratory, dude. Just like
I think if I were a scientist, I'd rock a lab coat.
I think you have to.
1000%.
You just burn your skin. Like, you're not going to go in a tank top.
Well, you could.
You might not be a scientist for very long.
Well,
Check
some scientists just
problems.
hold clipboards, and that would be me. In a tank top.
You'd be the wiper of the scientists. That's what you'd be. You'd be the wipey.
Yeah, for the first couple of years, yeah, but I'm gonna make my way up.
You're going to make it up.
I'll make my way up.
I love it, dude. So, is there anyone other than Big Joe? It's your voice?
Not really. Like, I mean, I loved my chief on the last boat.
Is your mentality just like, I'm here to work, like I'm not here to make
Everyone's
friends?
kind of.
No one's there to make friends at
Well,
all?
no, everyone like gets along pretty well, but it's again, you're on the boat with them for 3 months. You make good friends with them, but after that, you leave.
Yeah.
That would probably be really good content though. If you did like you interviewed everybody on the boat, and then like the next time you go on, you interview everybody on the boat, you probably hear some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually with this union I'm in, like I won't say you won't go back to the same boat, but a lot of times you jump around when you start out, different boats, because you gotta just take the job you can get.
Hmm.
So I went back to this boat because one, they told me I could reach back out to them if I wanted another job. And two, no one was gonna fill the job because it's more of a bottom of the barrel one. So that's why it was easy for me to go back.
Yeah, and I know that we kind of talked about this, but like just the process of finding a job for you guys is like insane. Like there's just so like you've got so educated on this company, like what's best, and I feel like you really like got to figure out what fits you because everybody likes something different. You know what I mean?
So it's funny you bring that up because what they say at school when I was graduating and the classes before me was, it's not that you don't have a job, it's that you have too much of a choice. There's too much like choices to pick.
I like
Caleb, our buddy Caleb that was here the other day,
Yeah.
said the same thing. He goes, I have this option, I have this union, and maybe go to these, like go out for oil companies. He's like, what do I do? Is what he's asking.
But it's not permanent.
No.
Like, that's kind of what's nice. Like, you can just jump, like, and just, fuck it. Like, it's 3 months, you know?
Yeah, but union-wise is a little different. You can't, like the union I'm in, I can't just leave it and go back to it.
You're contracted through them now.
Yeah. So if I were to left it, there's really no turn back and going back to it.
They just won't take you back. They're just like you're our ex, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. See ya.
You guys must be great at ghosting, dude. Great at ghosting, girl. I hope my sister never dates a marine or someone who ships out, a maritime guy.
Yeah,
Well-
they get bad reputation.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, I think like the biggest thing that's included like in your job and everything is just relationships, right?
Yeah.
How do
that's-
you balance that? I know like we're different, we're family, we've known each other forever, but as far as like wife, women, like how do you go about that
So-
leaving for 3 months?
That's one thing I knew going into it was like an issue. The more I've been in it, the more I've realized it is an issue.
Yeah.
So, for example, when I was in LA at the Union Hall, there was 2 older guys there that were chief engineers. They've been doing it for 20 or so years. They've met a ton of people in the industry, and they were talking, just shooting shit. It came up about their old jobs they had. They were asking each other about, hey, does this guy still work there? What it ended up being was, how's he doing? And the other guy would respond, oh, he's getting a divorce. Oh, he got a divorce. And I was sitting there like,
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's a sign.
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Are you saying that you're destined for a divorce?
You just
No.
broke it off and you're
You gotta get the first one out of the way.
It's,
No, I'm kidding.
it's just a hard thing that people
Chloe's gonna punch you, dude.
have to deal with, and it happens. But I will say a lot of like these people, like a lot of times it is self-induced. Like, but
What are they doing?
yeah, I mean, there's people that make it no problem.
They just
We
go
have a
crazy.
perfect example of that.
Yeah.
You're saying they just go crazy kind of thing? They come back and just...
Well, part of it is who they choose. It can be that.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Part of it is like how they act. And then sometimes it's just that maybe it's not one or the other. It's just that you're gone for 3 months out of the year. That just doesn't fit everyone.
Yep. For sure. And
You have experience with long distance.
yeah,
Is it?
but
Doing it for like 3 months at a time, that's gotta be hard.
To not,
Especially
to not see your significant other,
Yeah.
you almost forget what their voice sounds like. You forget what even kissing them feels like.
Yes.
It's the weirdest.
and it only
Weirdest
takes
thing.
like people think it
No,
takes a month.
it
It
doesn't.
takes 3 days.
weeks.
Not even. I'm
3
like,
weeks is like a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, the last girl I was seeing, that was a big issue.
Yeah. Which
And that's just,
yeah.
that's
And
just
it's
how it
something
is.
that you have to think. It might be all right with you, but is it all right with them,
Mhm.
right? Because
If it's
Yeah.
an issue with them, which is completely understandable,
yeah,
then it probably shouldn't happen in the first place.
exactly.
Because it's just gonna 2 years.
And it's
3
way
years down the
worse.
line, it's gonna end way worse.
Very true.
Like there's
Very
stories about people, like someone like, catching their wife doing shit.
True. Yeah.
It's like, you don't want
dude.
yeah.
Well,
So you gotta be
biggest
careful.
My biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is worse than that?
Yeah, and you're in the middle of the ocean. Like,
It's
what do you
worse
do?
than death in my opinion. Like, sorry.
That again.
I don't know.
what?
If you have like kids with some like, and you have like 3 kids, you have this whole life, and you
Yeah.
come back, it's like,
Okay. Yes. Yes. I wasn't thinking like 5 years in the future.
oh no, I'm not
Yeah,
thinking about like
no,
a
no,
girlfriend. or
Yes.
something,
Yes. No, I understand what you're saying now.
Like
Yeah.
a wife, like you've been married to for 20 years, and you come back, and she's just in your bed with.
You saying that's
Sorry,
worse
man.
than death?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it's worse.
If
as
I
soon
died
as
in a car
kids get
accident
involved.
and like was instantly
Yeah,
dead,
yeah.
As soon as
I
kids
agree.
get involved, that's when it draws a line for me.
I'm sure.
You
If I'm
can't
having a
take-
kid with you, that's it.
I'm stretching it
Like,
out.
nah. You're not standing on that.
It's pretty bad.
I'm not saying it's not bad. Death is, you're done.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
I guess it depends on what point of your life you're at. If you're 70 years old or 60 years old.
I turned to dirty grandpa so fast. I'd be like, she cheated on me, let's go to Florida.
Yeah, sure. You can lie.
Fort Lauderdale? No. I know that you've only done this job for a short time, but is this your forever job? Can you see yourself doing this for working your way up the corporate ladder, or is there something else that you'd rather do as like a dream job?
I don't think this is my forever job. I see a job like the job as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
As in getting like my feet under myself. So I'm making really good money. I'm having really good time off. It allows me to do things I've never done before. Travel being one of them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to leave. I think every 3 months. I don't see myself doing that for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was in last time. Actually, the first podcast I was on. We talked about the X stuff. What that was me attempting to build an online business in school, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What was this business?
It was the idea was to be some sort of coaching, and I didn't make it work.
It's hard if you have to go ship out again.
Yeah, exactly.
Something that requires you would be impossible to build.
But Sammy is a lot. He's Mr. Consistent as well.
Yeah,
He's
but
very
you can tell,
disciplined.
just like he's
Sammy
like
is
calm,
very
cool,
disciplined.
collected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Like
talk
he'd be a great life coach just
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's disciplined enough to be like,
Yeah.
And that's
You know.
kind of something I would want to do, but in a reattempt at it. Like
How do you think this prepares you for that?
I think it allows me to get, for me, my biggest thing I've realized recently is having my own kind of space is best for where I want to go.
Explain that.
So, back to when I was at school, my senior year, when I was most productive on the attempt at the online business was when I was in my apartment. I had my own room, my own space to work. To me, that's when I'm more focused on where I want to go and doing those daily things each and every day.
Are you saying you have that on the boat?
No, I'm saying it allows me to get to a place, like my own place, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
On the boat, there is Starlink, so I do have internet. It is a little, like I'm able to use.
Thank you, Elon.
Yeah, thank you, Elon. Big lifesaver. Like I can watch YouTube, I can watch Netflix. It's spotty, depending on where you are on the boat. It's weird to connect to, but it does work. So as for the coaching thing, it wouldn't work on the boat because it'd be video calls and that wouldn't work very well.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like this job is like a catalyst.
It's a
for-
catalyst,
Like
yeah.
it allows you to have the free time to pursue what you're
it.
actually passionate about. Now you've been just hammering the TikToks as of recently.
yes,
So you shifted from X. What made you jump to TikTok?
you told me last year that I needed to get speaking and my face out there, and that's what.
So that you can become a life coach type thing?
More that it just words on a screen, like on Twitter. Like how many people use Twitter? Like
I
consistent?
Or like, you
don't
could be a
even.
catfish.
I've never
I don't
even looked at Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't even use it.
I don't use it at all.
More people are on Instagram Reels and TikTok.
Yeah. That's
So,
100%.
and I think the algorithm there is a lot tailored to what you like. So if you come across something that you watch the full length, it's gonna tell the algorithm to show this person another thing similar to that or something made by them. Whereas on X, a lot of it was artificial. The way X would work is I post something, you engage with other accounts, they engage better.
Time consuming.
Time consuming.
Plus-
Super time consuming.
Plus X showed your smarts, but dude, he sculpted like a Greek god over here. He's got a nice jawline. Like, put your face out there. Like, they know that you're smart because you've been posting on X. Like, intellectually, you're very there. You know what I mean?
Also,
If you can
yeah.
put those two together, come on.
And I think
Or getting a
social-
model.
Yeah, social media shows that looks matter.
Yeah,
And to a degree.
you could be just like a catfish on X.
Yeah.
you can't really be like that
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Well,
TikTok.
I feel like ChatGPT could start running X.
Yeah, well,
You
the
could
reason-
really just have your idea, type it into ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Like, is
and
that really your
seven
authentic?
Well, that
tweets.
does, you can do that, but a lot of times the people that did that didn't grow much.
Right.
Because a lot of it's storytelling.
Yeah, you can't just be like, give me 7 tweets that will make me famous. Like you can't. It's not gonna work like that
And
necessarily.
the reason I did X was because at the time they were the only platform with a repost button. So TikTok didn't have their repost button. I think they have one now.
They have one now.
So like X was retweet was a common thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was very common.
Retweet,
You could
yeah.
retweet. If you get like, it was easier to kind of blow up. Yes.
I totally agree with that.
I just think it was like when Sammy first started Twitter, he didn't tell anyone.
Yeah. Oh, I was terrible.
Dude, no, he was supposed to these
What?
tweets, and like you
How
know
did you guys not
Sammy,
see it?
you know Sammy
You're like,
Edborg,
well,
you
I
don't
know
know little
Edborg.
Sam.
Wait, you didn't have? Did you have like a burner account or
No,
something?
no, no. I never had a Twitter account until I was about to start posting. I created an account. I didn't use it. I had the account for like a month, didn't post, didn't follow anyone, and then like I just
It was funny, like, we have our friends coming up.
We thought he got hacked.
It's like,
We
is Sammy,
did, we did. I was like, did Sammy get
Dude,
hacked?
someone's impersonating
no,
you.
they would literally ask me, is Sammy alright? Like, he's just posting a lot on Twitter, and it's sometimes sappy, but like, intellectual, like, is he good? And we're like, yeah, Sammy's killing it, what are you talking about? But it was just, everyone didn't know. And if you knew Sammy in high school, elementary school, middle school, it didn't matter. it's like the last thing you would think of,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
just did it.
You still went under Sammy Edborg though. You weren't like.
Yeah, that was my actual name, my Instagram profile.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's tough to deny that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't hiding.
No, he owned it.
But the biggest thing that it brought out for me was I love to write.
Ooh.
That's one thing I need to start picking back up.
You journal?
Not really. I kind of started like a daily, like log, a couple weeks ago.
Journaling. But
In a way, his
journaling-
ex was his
It kind of
journal.
is like
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of just like what I would learn. I pick something up throughout the day and turn it into like a tweet or something.
You know why I like that? Like, I like writing that shit down. It's because it's like just reminders.
Yeah.
It's like, and you go back and you look at that and you're like, holy shit, like, this wasn't even on my mind today, but it just reminds you.
I mean, it's the same thing with like Snapchat. You have an old memory pop up from 5 years ago, and you're like, dude, this was hilarious. Remember when we did this? It's the same thing. Like you have, like posting on social media, it will forever be there.
Funny story.
You always have something to look back on. Go ahead.
This is our, like, just shy 1 month anniversary of Be the Product.
Wow.
We just showed up with the first pictures taken on the cameras was our 1 year, like,
No
it was
way.
yesterday. Popped up. The first ever camera or pictures.
I remember talking to you about it.
Congratulations.
I remember talking to you specifically about it, and the only thing you said was like, "Yeah, man, that's crazy. Enjoy this moment because, like, the beginning stages are the most memorable and the most fun." And now looking back at like, we're gonna miss the Ray's apartment.
The Rays of
Like that
Art.
was just like such a like.
Like hours and hours just sitting on the couch, like thinking of a fucking name for this thing. Like literally, we're hours on that couch.
Be the preview? No.
Be the- no.
It was almost a preview.
The journey.
The journey. I had email accounts started, like the Journey podcast. Yeah.
No, it was already.
Turns out there's already a podcast that has like 10 million followers. That's called the Journey Podcast. Like shit.
We did the Joe Rogan experience.
No, like you'd be so surprised. Like start looking up podcast names. Everything's taken. Every time we thought we came up with a good name, no, it's already a thing. And they're like established, like thousands of followers. Every single one of them,
Crazy.
except for Be the Product.
I was gonna say there's no other Be the Product.
There's no other. We are the
Too
product.
unique.
One on
know
one.
this for sure, right?
Yep.
Alright.
We do know this for sure.
I didn't do any research on that.
Well, we did have to be B3 the product.
Yeah, we are B3 the product. Just for the domain name.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no YouTube channels of it, but
Huh. B3 the product.
Well, now it
it's
makes
close
sense.
enough.
well, the 3 was an E.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just that you had to say that
Had to say it. Sorry. Had to say it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Backwards E.
We got anything else for today?
What's next in Sammy's journey?
The next.
I guess
So we're
where
gonna- it's work for 3 months.
Work for 3 months.
where do you want to visit once that next bank account just the next lump sum gets hit?
We should do a guys trip to Dubai.
Yeah.
That would be
Dubai.
sick. That would be a great way to spend like 50 grand.
It is expensive.
Dubai is expensive. as
Next
fuck.
off season, we're in Dubai.
Dubai.
It's crazy there, dude. Like, cost
Have you been?
everything. No, I haven't.
We gotta
I
go.
had friends. that-
Dubai would be sick though.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'll call it Uber. Like a Lamborghini pulls up, you're like, what the fuck?
It's a 2-seater.
Yeah.
We have 6 people.
Oh, I'll call the Ghost,
Yeah.
the Rolls Royce.
You'd have to rent, luxury cars when you're there.
Yeah.
Have to.
1,000%.
That's the place to do it.
It's easy. We'll just make a couple million this year. That's all we have to do.
I do want to know, Sammy, like, you got this goal. Do you have a timeline on it? Like, do you see yourself doing this for like 4 years, 5 years,
Yeah,
10
I
years?
could see myself doing this for 4 or 5, even longer. I don't have a problem doing it for 20 years now.
You don't have a problem doing it for 20 years.
No, I could do it for
Wow.
20 years, but I think there's just more out there to do. Why stick with one
Yeah.
thing? More to learn. That's the way I see it. I see this job as Like you learn a lot of really cool things. A lot of it's like basically every trade in one. So a lot of people that work this job go home and they're big on working on cars. They do all these other things. So you learn a lot of really good skills that you can transfer to like your house, working on your house, cars, whatever you're into. But I think there's other things to learn, other things to do as well.
How possible is it if you like did climb your way up the ladder? Let's just say 20 years down the line, is it possible to make like 150K in 3 months? Is there anyone that does that? Like maybe the captain, I guess.
Probably not. I don't know what the.
Because there's got to be captains that probably do 6 months and they make 300,000 a year. You got to think if they did a 3-month one for 150K, maybe.
I don't know how
They
much
make
the
more than that
captain
in
or the
6
chief
months.
makes.
Yes.
The captain makes probably more.
Yearly,
Do
it's.
you think he makes like 400,000 a year, 500,000 a year?
If
I
I
think so.
I don't
think it's that much. I don't know how much they actually make.
I mean, dude, if
Can you look at the
Mikey's-
ranks through like what's it called? The union? Because
Yeah.
usually union
Okay, so-
prices are literally
they're
like
shown.
charted
So the
out,
chief-
like you know.
The chief on my boat was they get paid. I want to say it was monthly. Their pay is a little different because they don't do overtime. They can't do overtime.
So is there 2 captains on every boat then?
One captain, one chief engineer.
How do they not do overtime?
Well, can the chief engineer be a captain too?
No,
They're not.
the chief.
So one of
engineer-
them's like a guy that drives the boat. One of them controls the engine.
Well, the captain and the chief are the head people. They're not like the chief. Depending on the chief in the boat, some chiefs are barely in the engine room. They're mostly doing their biggest thing is communication with landside, the office, in getting us parts, making sure we're on schedule. Like the captain's biggest thing is safety.
Mhm.
He's the head guy in safety. So he's he's the one that plans the drills and all that and communicates with the office the most.
Are you guys ever like man overboard like practice? No.
We do.
What happens
we do
if you
fire
fall
drills.
off?
We do
You're-
fire
you're
drills.
a goner.
Sometimes
If you fall off, are you dead?
No, I was just seeing the
depends where and when. Definitely could be.
Middle of the
Where
night.
I was, yeah, you're probably the water's 30 something degrees and 2-foot waves at the lowest.
Yeah, you're not.
Imagine.
You're not swimming in that.
No.
Yeah.
You could
So
probably
then
make
waves,
it like,
it's like swells.
Swells, yeah.
you could probably make it like 5 minutes. And for that boat to turn around, you're dead.
Yeah, so the boat can't. It's not gonna turn around. The only way you're gonna survive is if someone's right there next to you and they huck something overboard, and you're able.
There's no rescue.
There's a rescue boat, but it's gonna take forever to get that down. Nobody's standing at the rescue boat ready. to
People are like, it's just gonna take forever to get the rescue boat down, man. I think
Let's
we
just leave it.
I think we're just gonna keep going, man. It's gonna take forever.
No, they would launch it if someone did. But
Bye, champ.
by
He's
then-
in Davy Jones' locker.
We'll see you in the other line.
Bye, champ. Sorry, man. This is way too long. Yeah. That's messed up.
Yeah, but we usually do a drill each week. The biggest one is a fire drill, because that includes everything. So when you do a fire drill, like I was putting on the turnout gear, and they pretend there's a fire. You put on all the gear, you show up to it. The chief mate
They actually
talks
start a
about it.
real fire.
So the chief mate will kind of talk about it, like the situation you came up with. Kind of like when you guys were role playing.
Yeah.
Like he comes up with his own, like, oh, this is an oil fire. And he talks about it, like best ways to put it out. And then once that's done, we take all the gear off and they call it abandoned ship drill. So if, in case the fire didn't get put out and you have to leave the ship, basically abandoned ship is just show up to the lifeboats with your gear. So your gear would be a life vest and a immersion suit, which is like it's like a survival suit that you can it floats and it's a wetsuit.
Wasn't that part of your physical? You had to do it in like a certain amount of time.
think
Some
so.
shit. I remember
Yeah.
Colby saying that. Like you had to
Yeah.
put the suit on in 30 seconds, like to
Oh,
pass or something.
Is it like a military looking uniform, or do you look like Popeye?
No, just in regular.
Popeye.
Oh, that's, what?
It's like a total like sexual.
Oh, it's like you can look it up. I don't care. It's just an orange suit that you put on. A
Oh.
wetsuit.
It's like
Very thick. Like,
Yeah, I was picturing Popeye for some reason. I don't know why.
Popeyes.
yeah, you just show up for that and.
I feel like everyone. I could have sworn I saw someone. And I thought it was made maritime. They posted it was the white like Popeye sailor hat.
Yeah, they wear them.
Is that?
Yeah.
We've seen
You
Sammy.
do have that.
We've seen Sammy's
I threw
mine
uniform.
in it.
We've seen him.
Sammy dressed up for us when we went up for
Oh,
homecoming.
Oh no!
It was
This is
You
what I
guys
wear on
know
the
you
daily,
got the whole
guys.
show,
crazy
huh?
role play.
I can only imagine you guys. Yeah, stuff in the shorts.
My little
everything.
sailor.
Oh god! I don't want to know.
Sammy, do us one big favor. Drop your socials, and then tell everyone why they should follow you.
So Instagram Samuel Edborg, all one word. TikTok Sam_Edborg. That's where I post the speaking videos.
Yeah.
You should follow me because it's what I did on X, and it's just great perspective on life. I believe all of us have a certain perspective that everyone in the world can learn from.
Yeah, cool.
For
No
sure.
matter where you're at. So.
I'll add to him. I'm gonna back him up here. Back up the boy. You are what you consume, and if you want to be following World Star, Terrible Things to Consume, by all means go for it. That's what you'll become. If you want to become someone who's disciplined, someone who's got their stuff together, someone who's definitely going to be going places, you follow this guy, Samuel Edborg.
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
And obviously, be the product. We are back and brighter than ever. We're fucking going full force ahead. We got some upgrades.
Okay.
We got some crazy ideas for the future. We even talked about this. Was Sammy's idea is doing some live footage from the elevator ride. 60
Oh,
seconds, getting live footage of these people in there. We got some good ideas coming, and
Stay tuned because we're going to Scottsdale, Arizona to see Andy Elliott and
next
the crew.
week, baby!
We are very important people.
You said it best there. Yep, very important. And we're gonna shake some hands, kiss some ass, and hopefully
We're gonna do
some
it.
ass.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But we will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe.